Keisha has a credit card balance of negative $540 on her Visa account and negative $1,520 on her Macy's account. So first we're going to find a unit ratio of the Macy's balance to the Visa balance. So be very careful when you're being asked to find a ratio that you pay attention to what order the ratio is being asked for. So notice here it says Macy's to Visa, so that means we want the Macy's information on top. Okay, so Macy's on the top and Visa is going to be on the bottom. Even though that wasn't the way the information was given in the original problem, so we just have to really pay attention to those words. So we know on her Macy's account she had negative $1,520, and in her Visa account her balance was negative $540. So there's a ratio, but if we pay close attention to the directions that this is asking for, this is asking us for a unit ratio. So remember, when we find a unit ratio, we actually want to do the division that's being asked for. Now here we're dividing a negative and a negative, right? Negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. So I know my answer is going to be positive. Now I could let my calculator tell me that, but I would just as soon know that ahead of time before I start working in my calculator. So now let's go ahead and pull the calculator up here. We're going to be doing negative 1,520, and that's going to be divided by negative 540. And when we enter that, we see that we come up with positive, just as we expected. And then it's this weird kind of repeating decimal number that we see here. But because this is dealing with money, right, we want to go ahead and, just like with regular money, we want to round it to 2 decimal places. So I can see here this would be like $2.81, and then there's this 4, which isn't enough to bump the 1 up to a 2. So we would have it to be about equal to $2.81, so 281, okay? So let me go ahead and put that down there. And I'm going to change my equal sign to an about equal sign, the little squiggly equal, because it wasn't exactly, we had to round it. So 2.81, okay? Now we want to keep track of what that means. Remember that this has to do with how much money was owed for Macy's, and the bottom was how much money was due for Visa. So this is telling us $2.81 for Macy's over, remember we just did the division, we found the unit ratio. So in a unit ratio, my denominator is always going to be $1 Visa. Now we might be trying to figure out what the heck does that mean, but the second part is going to give us a clue. If Keisha wants to pay off both accounts gradually at the same time, describe how the results in part A can help her decide how to make payments. So this is going to help us to figure out how, if she wants to be paying them off both at the same time, kind of over a period of time, and do it kind of equally. This tells us for every $2.81 paid to Macy's, she should be paying about $1 to the Visa account, and that would let them kind of come down simultaneously, you know, kind of, and be able to pay off both of them at the same time. So for every $2.81 paid to Macy's, she should pay $1 to Visa. So that's a nice way that these unit ratios can help us to kind of put some different thought into our finances, especially in things like paying off credit card debt.